Hey everybody, welcome back to a very short series. We'll have three episodes here on the all new IQ4 Hub. I think you're gonna be pretty excited to see this new offering that's available. Kevin and Scott are gonna walk you through kind of a general overview, and the next 2 weeks we'll have just a quick technical, we'll call it the first level of technical, and then the second. So we'll have those next. We've got a couple quick polls, a little different, and then we're going to have one poll after the webinar because we want to see if any answers change through this. So I'm just going to launch these polls quickly. So, oh wow, people are still dropping in, so we'll take a few extra minutes here. Okay, so we're going to launch this. So if we were to make automation devices with PowerG protocol, which devices would you want us to focus on? Well, lock off to the big start. You can choose more than one if you want. Is select all with apply. All right. Well, as we thought, Kev, 90% on the lock. So pretty good split though, but definitely lock would be the most interesting. It looks like to our viewers. So we'll leave this open for just a few more seconds. Give everybody a chance to vote. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you kindly for that. And let's get to the next one. So which of the following panels are you currently installing? Neo, Pro, Power Series, IQ2, IQ Hub, the first generation, IQ4, or some other manufacturer? All right. We have lots of Neo, Pro, and Power Series on there, and really lots of IQ4. Holy, that's awesome. I think you folks are going to really like IQ4 Hub as Scott and Kevin go through this. Just give that one 3 more seconds. Everybody's voting rapidly. All right, close that one off. Okay, Scotty's question. So when you're using an IQ panel, which wireless radio frequency do you install or take over the most? Is it only 319 or only 433, 345, only PowerG, or are you using dual SRF? So lots of, all right, so we pretty even across the board there. Wow. All right, so we're taking over lots of legacy stuff, but there's a lot of folks using dual SRF. Well, over half of the people are using dual SRF on most of their installs. So that's great information. Thank you. Close that one off. One last one before I hand this off to Kevin and Scott. And this is this is the question we're asking now, and we're going to ask again after the webinar. So here we go. Do you feel that having a lower cost IQ panel with some features removed will enable you to sell more systems? It's a yes, a no, a maybe, or it depends on which features are removed. All right, pretty even between yes and depending on which features are removed. Not much on the no's. So I think we're, again, I think you're going to find what we're offering with IQ4 Hub. I think is going to meet the majority of your use cases and give you that bit of a lower cost offering for you. So we'll just give that one 2 more seconds, and I'm going to pass this off. All right, thank you. I'll be hiding over in chat with Joel and Mark. So if you need anything, just drop us something in chat. Off to you guys.
Thanks, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll introduce myself, then I'll pass you over to Kevin. How's that sound? So I'm the technical accounts manager here for Western Canada. So feel free to reach out to me if needed. And I've been in the industry a long time. So we're looking forward to jumping into this new IQ Hub 4, which I'm really excited for. So Kevin, I'll pass it over to you.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Yeah, guys, super excited to be here today, especially presenting with Scotty Dry. My name's Kevin. If you don't know me, I run our technical account management team globally. And we are super excited today to talk to you about what we call IQ4 Hub. Right off the bat, we'll address some confusion with the naming. I think, we've called this lots of different things internally as well as externally. We actually showed this product at ISC West. If you saw us there, we kind of gave people a sneak peek. Also at ESX, if you were at that trade show. But the reason we're doing the webinar today is because it's finally here, right? We're ready to launch this thing, and we'll get into the details a little bit of when it will be available here shortly. But you might see it referred to as IQ Hub. You may have seen a few things called IQ Hub 2, but the official name is IQ4 Hub, and we'll get into why that is. So with that, Scotty, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Kevin. So again, what we're doing as a company here is trying to keep one platform for any application. So as you see our future moving forward, hopefully you're getting out to our new product IQ innovation shows that we're doing across North America right now, and they all carrying the same Qualcomm chip in them. So as you can see, we've had the 7-inch IQ4 hub, we've got the panel all in one, and then we're releasing the IQ Pro as you see today. So as you can see, pretty exciting, all one platform, one programming, simple with a lot of the features that you've had in like the IQ4. And the one we're going to concentrate the most on there is that IQ4 hub with a little bit slightly lower cost than that IQ panel that you got, IQ4 panel that you've been all used to today. So we're going to show you a few things that are exciting with this panel and where we think it can kind of fit in your market.
Yeah, and so with that, we'll kick it off with a quick video here. Now, I know that videos don't play the best on the GoToWebinar program here, so it might be a little bit choppy, but hopefully you're able to kind of get the gist of what we're showing with the video. And this video is also posted on our website under the IQ4 Hub product page, which is now live. So if you want to watch it after the fact, you can go find this video quite easily. But with that, we'll go ahead and get started.
Affordability without compromise. Meet IQ Hub, the most affordable all-in-one panel that has everything you want without compromising the quality you expect from the IQ platform. With an 8-core processor and LTE and Wi-Fi dual path, IQ Hub is lightning fast. The elegant 7-inch touchscreen looks good on the wall of your home, apartment, or small business. Whether upgrading or installing a new system, there's an IQ Hub for you. Choose from Power G only, 319 megahertz, 345 megahertz, or 433 megahertz. Built-in Z-Wave Plus controls locks, lights, and thermostats, enabling Alarm.com scenes and automation. View all cameras and answer your video doorbell through the IQ Hub or your mobile app. Connect up to 5 smartphones through Bluetooth for touchless disarming and music streaming. The Smart Mount installation system provides easy wall or table stand mounting options. IQ Hub, the most affordable all-in-one touchscreen for your security, life safety, and smart device needs.
All right. So again, I apologize if that was a bit choppy, but hopefully you got the gist of what was said there. And if not, we'll go through it here kind of in detail and answer your questions about what's different, what is IQ Hub, what does it do, and where might you use it. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. As we've mentioned several times, this is really designed to be a slightly lower cost offering than IQ Panel 4. And we do that by kind of tweaking some of the features, some of the hardware a little bit, while keeping it based on the IQ4 platform. So we like to say affordability without compromise, or everything you want, nothing you don't. And so at its core, you saw the first slide there that Scott talked about. This is the Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset, the 8-core super powerful processor, all the memory, all the RAM, all the speed that you know and love on IQ Panel 4. So a lot of the guts are the same from that perspective. One of the things that's different is actually on the security radios. You likely know that on IQ Panel 4, it's kind of famous for what we call dual SRF, where every panel supports Power G, and then as well what we call a legacy protocol. So either 319, Interlogix or Qolsys S-Line, 345, either a Honeywell or 2 gig protocol, or 433, which is the legacy DSC protocol. And so on IQ Panel 4, the panel supported both those frequencies simultaneously. You could kind of mix and match sensors. You could take over existing sensors in the home. You could add new Power G sensors, and kind of gave you a lot of flexibility. That said, we know there are lots of times, especially maybe on a new install, where you're not actually using that dual SRF, but you've been paying for it. And so we wanted to give you a way to be able to reduce the cost a little bit and just have what we call a single security protocol in the IQ Hub or the IQ4 Hub. And so
Kevin, that means I only get one card? That's all? One card?
One card, that's right, Scott. One card. So you see here on the screen, it comes in Power G or 319 or 433 or 345. So that's not an and, it's an or, right? So you pick one. It'll still be our gold box, red box, silver box, blue box like you're used to seeing, but keep in mind it does not have both frequencies all the time. So you would just pick whichever one you need for that particular install. Now, the great thing is if you still need both frequencies, well, you just simply continue using IQ Panel 4, right? So you're gonna kind of have two options. It's not necessarily an all or nothing, but this gives you the flexibility where cost is a real concern or needed, and you just need a single protocol, you're gonna have that ability to do that. You still keep all the automation, so everything you're used to there. This actually starts with Z-Wave 800 series automation, which the IQ Panel 4 is also moving to Z-Wave 800, as 700 kind of sunsets here. For lights, locks, thermostats, all the same devices are supported, all the same device limits are supported. So from an automation perspective there, it's really what you're used to. And then one of the other really big differences here, you've probably noticed, is that there's no panel camera. So that's one of the other big differences between IQ Panel 4 and IQ Hub. If you like the panel camera, if you need a panel camera for disarm photos and alarm videos and all that cool stuff, then you're gonna wanna stick with IQ Panel 4. If you don't need the panel camera, then IQ Hub could be a great choice for you. And we're thinking a lot about certain segments, certainly, like smart apartments, MDU, places where maybe privacy is a concern. And you guys have come to us a lot over the years and said, hey, for certain applications, having that panel camera is actually a negative, not a positive. And so this allows you to kind of have a more simplified offering, create some differentiation between the two products, and while also saving some money by not having a panel camera.
But Kevin, that doesn't sacrifice my video still? I can still do my cameras on my screen?
Yeah, that's right, Scott. That's correct. So just because it doesn't have a panel camera, it doesn't mean it can't do video. So we still keep what we call live view and live answer. That's the ability to view all the alarm.com cameras and doorbells on the screen. You can talk back and forth to them. You can answer the doorbell just like you're used to. So you're still going to get that video functionality on the panel screen itself, just you won't have the actual panel camera embedded on the product. You keep the Bluetooth with the touchless disarming and the music streaming, and we keep our what we call our smart mount installation system. Easy install wizard and everything you know and love there with IQ Panel 4. And I will bring up, I've got one here, let me unplug it real quick. We'll bring up that, again, a lot of you guys know some of the improvements we made to IQ Panel 4 over the last year since it launched, by improving the back plate, making it stiffer, making it more rigid, adding this center hole here, improving the bottom screw to be a tapered bottom screw. So from the very get-go, IQ Hub or IQ4 Hub takes advantage of those improvements that you've seen cut in over time on IQ Panel 4. So that's certainly nice to have. There's a couple other things. I'll show you the inside here of mine. You notice this only has a single security card in it, right? So this does not have the dual SRF. This one happens to be a Power G card. So this is a Power G only panel. There's also a couple other connectors that have been removed. If you're familiar with the IQ base, this does not support the IQ base, the speaker table stand. For that, you would need to stick with IQ Panel 4, and a couple other small differences here, which we'll get into on the next slide. But for the most part, going to be very similar and based on the same IQ4 chassis, so to speak. One other thing here real quick for you guys is you'll notice at the bottom here, it says general availability in October. And again, that's why we're starting this webinar here, as we are just around the corner from launching this product. This will actually begin shipping the first week of October. So we are very close here. A couple of other comments, and some of this is duplicative from the last slide, but again, you get the Qualcomm SOM, the 8-core processor, the dual path LTE and Wi-Fi built in, the BLE 4.2, again, the single RF card, so pick and choose there, Z-Wave 800. There is what we call the center expansion slot on this panel, so we do have the ability to expand the RF down the road like we do with the IQ Panel 4, whether that's Zigbee or Ethernet or some other type of protocol that needs to go in there down the road. This is future-proof from that perspective. You can see we removed the panel camera, the ambient light sensor, and two-way voice. So that's the other thing here, is this doesn't do two-way voice. We removed a couple of microphones and 3 speakers. So you know the IQ Panel 4 has 4 speakers and 3 microphones, kind of very robust from a two-way voice and audio perspective. And this version, again, you can kind of see here, we go to 1 speaker and 1 siren on the product instead of having 4 speakers at the bottom. You've got a single LED up here on the right-hand side instead of the triple LEDs, a single microphone instead of the triple microphones. And then one of the other big kind of defining features to create some differentiation on the wall is we moved to a plastic grill. So rather than having the really nice fabric grill that you see on IQ Panel 4, this has a little bit cleaner look with the plastic grill, and create some product differentiation there for you from kind of a good, better, or a better, best style offering.
So Kevin, still, I see Bluetooth still. Do I have my partitioning still on there?
You do, yeah. So same Bluetooth disarm as always. You can partition with that, so you can have certain phones disarm partition 1 with Bluetooth, and other phones disarm partition 2, 3, or 4 with Bluetooth. Same programming you're used to. So really easy to kind of mix and match from that perspective if you end up offering both panels in your product line.
Perfect. All right, I'll take this one, Kevin. So software, and this was a huge one for me. I'm glad it came out, IQ Hub 4. What I've been pushing, maybe I was getting a little ahead of myself, but it worked out because I like the idea when I was talking about a 2+, we were on a 2 dot number for our firm, our software updates and things like that. And this being on the exact same platform as the IQ4, it makes it very easy to, as an IQ Hub, it'll probably end up being an IQ Hub, but I know it's a 4. So to me, when I'm dealing with my dealers, you can remember still, you're using the 4 dot number, whatever it is. So again, you're gonna see all these features that we got at 4.20 already in the panel. So partitions without screen lock. You got the new Power G sensor test. Maybe some of you haven't noticed that, but you can actually go in there now with the IQ4 and do Power G, where we've had it always for our legacy or secondary RF frequencies. Power down notifications. One of the dealers or major dealer was looking for a lot of that. So all those things that you're used to today, Z-Wave 800, we talked about, your health check, everything is all there. And as you can see what's coming, and again, this 4.30 will go across the IQ Hub as well as the IQ4, and this will allow us to add more features again to the Hub as well as the 4 with the IQ Remote Power G support. You're gonna have your photo frame remote upload, so changing things there. You'll be able to do your commercial billboards as we've done in the past, in other panels with an SD card, things like that. Alarm.com prox tags, and then look at that, Zigbee. So Zigbee's coming. We're gonna have a chip, and that'll then go across the IQ4 as well as the Hub. So again, all these great features that just keep coming for the IQ4 are going to be exactly the same. They're just going to be some, as Kevin's alluded to, we're, no camera, things like that. So you won't have some of those programming features, but you're going to have all the same features that you've had again in the IQ4, because the software is just going to flow together. Anything else there, Kevin?
Oh, that's perfect. I was on the wrong page there. Sorry. Yeah, thanks, Scott. And again, we've talked about this a little bit, but wanted to show it here. So from an automation perspective, lights, locks, thermostats, scenes, all that stuff you're used to is going to work just fine. No problem there. Same for video. Again, I mentioned this, but it's nice to be able to see it here and demonstrate it. Live view and live answer is supported. Very similar to IQ Panel 4, but the same actually. Yeah, and that is kind of it. We've got a lot of really good questions coming in here. I would say keep the questions coming, or Joel or Neil, if there's any that you want to kind of call out here for the rest of the audience. Any questions that kind of stood out?
Not yet. No, I mean, everybody's loving it. There was questions about, will it support the legacy 433 devices? And obviously on the 433 variant, it will. There's been a couple of questions about Bluetooth scanning, and we're going to have to leave people hanging on that one. It is something that we're looking at implementing in 4.3, as mentioned. Somebody wants you to go back a screen for some reason, Kev.
Sure.
I don't know why, but there you go. So can the Power G IQ remote be used on the IQ2 Plus? So unfortunately, no. The IQ Remote Power G will only be supported on IQ4 and IQ4 Hub. And you can tell we've had some confusion with our own wording internally. Scotty is referring to it as IQ Hub 4. It is IQ4 Hub, but yeah, we're pretty excited with this offering. I'm just going to see if there's any other questions that.
I'll add a little color there while you're looking, Neil. So on the IQ Remote Power G, which again, we're going to be talking, that releases a little bit later this fall here with 4.3, like you said, or like you saw on the previous slide. But just a little bit of context there. When we moved from IQ Panel 2 to IQ Panel 4, we had a newer, upgraded version of the actual Power G daughter card there, and that's what enables that IQ Remote Power G. So that's kind of why those two things go together.
Yep. I guess we didn't mention, or maybe we did mention, we missed it. Glass break, there is no panel glass break anymore, right, on IQ4 Hub. That was one of the questions. All right, here we go. Here's all the, wow, as usual, questions just pouring in. So will the IQ4 Hub, they even called it Hub 2, so will the IQ4 Hub work with the IQ Hardwire Power G?
Yes.
Yeah,
on the Power G version, it would work.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. On the
call,
Power G version, that will work. It's a good call, Scott. And on the 319 version, you could use the 319 IQ Hardwire 16F, right? So from a device perspective, all the same devices are supported, hardwire and wireless, as long as they are in that protocol that you're using on that panel. So you have less ability to kind of mix and match legacy and Power G. You just got to make sure whatever protocol panel you're using, those are the devices that you're using.
Yeah. What else do we have? Can you upload screensavers via Bluetooth? All right, so Thomas, you may want to go look at our previous webinars. You could do it from Android, so Android to Android, but from iOS you can't. But what we have now is you actually can do this through the panel access point. So you can upload from an iOS device or an Android device or a web browser by connecting to the panel's access point, and it's all in the usual section you would have seen on IQ2. So it'll be like dealer branding in the dealer branding section or photo frame section, wherever you're trying to do it, all through the panel access point.
Yep, and again, that goes for IQ Panel 4 and IQ4 Hub here. Both have that capability now.
Yep. So we'd like to be able to open doors, not lock. I don't understand that question. We would like to be able to open doors, not locks from the panel. All right, maybe you can clarify who dropped that question in there, just what you're looking for. ADC cams with IQ Wi-Fi 6. Yep, Wi-Fi 6 is fully integrated on this as well.
Does this support the Power G W2W?
Yes, a Power G variant. We answered that one. Oh, a door strike release. Yeah, you could do that through the wire to wireless module. Yes.
You can do that through the wire to wireless module. I'll hint, we've been in talks with alarm.com to be able to do that with their access control through the screen. So that you may see that in the future on all of our products, where we can hit a strike or an access control door directly from the screen, but not today.
Robert wants to know when the 9932 wireless heat's going to be available. We're still looking at it late this year, Robert, for that one. It's either going to be very late 2022 or early 2023. We're in UL testing right now. All right, I think we've got, well, while we're waiting, there's questions dropping in. I'm going to drop that poll in one more time just to see if anybody's opinion has changed. But we'll just do that quickly, and then we'll have a couple more minutes for questions. So please, yeah, keep dropping their questions in.
Hey, Neil, remember you got the handouts, and then I just want to remind everyone that you also have a link to any of our past workshops are in the chat. So if you want to check those out on YouTube, feel free to go ahead.
All right, so pretty, yeah, nobody's changed negatively. So we've got a pretty good change positively that people, are seeing the value in what the IQ4 Hub can offer. But it's great, right? We'll just leave that running for a few more seconds, and then while you're doing that, Joel, if you want, you can ask the gents any questions that are sitting in there.
Any idea when we're looking at the sandbox for the IQ4 Hub?
The sandbox.
Think
I
of
think he's
different
referring to sandbox integration.
Like sandbox
Oh,
Sandbox.
the sandbox app.
on the panel, yeah. You know, that's something we're still working on for both IQ4 and IQ4 Hub. I'll just say TBD at the moment. I don't have more to share there.
Phil wants to know when DSE 433 devices are going to be discontinued. Your guess is as good as ours. There's no plan to discontinue them currently. I think
Got a lot of questions on pricing. I'm gonna ask you to defer to your local sales representative to get pricing. Remember, guys, we put this on YouTube, so we don't want end users to get dealer pricing from us posting a video or saying something that's publicly listed. So
Yep.
please check up with your local sales representative to help you out.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think we've ETA and the Power G heat. Somebody just asked again. Again, it'll be the end of December, early New Year. We're just waiting for UL certification, but that's when the Power G heat will be available. It does exist. It's a real device. I just wish I had one sitting here so I could show you that it actually exists. But I don't. Oh, Kevin's got one. I know I've got one somewhere. I'm sitting there looking for it.
Very rare that I have something Neil does not, but there you go.
Yep, somebody asked if the number of zones are the same. It's exactly the same as IQ4. 4 partitions, 128 zones, everything's the same except for, you know, what Kevin and Scott have gone over that's not included on IQ4 Hub, that is on IQ4.
Yeah, so again, I think some of the biggest defining factors here, just kind of in a wrap before we got a couple minutes left here to kind of put a bow on this. You know, if you don't need a panel camera, if you don't need the dual SRF, kind of multi security frequency in a single panel, and if you don't need two-way voice, those are probably the biggest 3 differentiators on this product: the panel camera, the RF, the two-way. There's other things like the speakers and the plastic grill and the IQ base and panel glass break, and there's, you know, knickknacks that are different here and there, LEDs and microphones and stuff like that. But by and large, from a feature perspective, it comes down to the SRF frequencies, the panel camera, and the two-way voice as the largest differentiating features here. Those aren't something that you're using, or if you don't need those in your specific market, maybe it's a builder market, maybe it's MDU like I mentioned, maybe it's someone who doesn't want a panel camera because of privacy reasons, this is a great way to save a couple bucks. In the event that you do need those features, simply buy an IQ Panel 4 and you're off and running. So you kind of get to mix and match and have the best of both worlds based on that customer, that market, that segment, whatever it is you're doing.
Yep. Wellness. Yep. Wellness support's built in.
Yep.
I'm going to drop the product page in the chat for everyone to view. I keep getting questions for SKUs as well. So if you check out the product page, all the SKUs are on there, so you can check it out.
Somebody wants to know, will Hub be used with Brevo multifamily systems?
I'm not super familiar with Brevo. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Brevo. I thought it was like a Z-Wave hub, like a standalone Z-Wave hub that builders use for thermostats and door locks, but I don't know enough about Brevo to say.
Yep. All right. Well, there's a few just clarification questions that we'll answer offline afterwards, but we are at time. So we will say thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Scotty. And thanks everybody for attending. And we will see you next week for the first part of the technical webinar on the all new IQ4 Hub.
Thanks guys.
Thanks, everyone.